Welcome to Yvette's tutorial. Okay, so we're going to set this up like how he had it in class with the same fund amounts and funds A, B, C, right? The fund MERs are always given. That's what he was showing us on the charts. Step 1 is to total all of these numbers to find the total value of the portfolio. 50,000. 50,000. Step 2, you want to find out what percentage of 50,000 does this fund take up. So you divide 12,000 by 50,000, 8,000 by 50,000, so forth. So for A is 24%. 24%, and then you do the same thing for the others. Then 16% for B, and then 60% for C. Okay, my bad, I forgot to add these. I think they were given though. Now to find the portfolio asset allocation, so if we're finding the portfolio asset allocation, we're finding the fixed income and equity portions in the whole portfolio, not in just the fund. This is just for the fund. So you need to choose which one you want to start with. We're going to start with fixed income. So for the portfolio asset allocation for fixed income, you go the 24% that you found before times the 20 in this fixed income for just the fund. So it's this 24% times this 20. 4.8. 4.8. And then so for the equity portion, you do the same thing. You take your 24% from here, and then you take your 80 from here and times them. 19.2. 19.2. 19.2. So you have 4.8 fixed income, 19.2 equity. So then for the next row down, you do the exact same thing for B. So you take the 16% times the fixed income portion of the fund to get 9.6. So then after you find the fixed income portion of 9.6, then you do the same thing with the equity. So you have your 16% from here times the equity portion of the fund here to get 6.4. 9.6 and 6.4 fixed income equity. And then for fund C, you do the exact same thing. So 60% times the 80 fixed income. 60% times 20 gives you your equity. 48 fixed income, 12 equity. Okay, I just moved it over. This is for this row. Now for your portfolio fee, you're going to use your percent and your fund MER. So for the first row A, you're going to take your 24% times 2.10 MER, which was given, and you get 0.504 portfolio fee. And then it's the same for the next row, but remember we changed this percent. So it'll be 16% times 190 MER equals 0.304 portfolio fee. And then for the third row, it's the exact same thing. So your 60% times 150 MER gives you 0.90 portfolio fees. Like that. So now you can find the totals for portfolio asset allocation. And so you can find your total for the fixed income first. You just add up the 4.8, 9.6, and 48. 62.4% of the portfolio is fixed income. And then you do the same thing for the equity. 37.6% is made up of equity in the portfolio asset allocation. And then to get the total portfolio fee, you just add them up. That comes out to 1.708. So this is currently what the portfolio is looking like. So some time goes by, and then we have new balances, and these are given. Fund A grew from 12,000 to 32,000. Fund B grew from 8,000 to 15,000. Fund C grew from 30,000 to 43,000. So you do the same thing. Remember, the first step is to total them all, like here. So when we add them up, we get 90,000. Then you need to get your percentages again. So again, you're taking your $32,000 that's in this fund only, in Fund A, over the total funds in the portfolio. 35.6%. This orange is for this column. So for the new portfolio asset allocation, where you're finding the portions of fixed income and equity, you do kind of the same thing, but you use the new percents. So for row A, the new percent was 35.6%, and then you times that by the original fixed income amount. So this 35.6 came from here, this 20 came from here. 7.12 is your new fixed income portion asset allocation. Then for the equity half, it's the same thing. So 35.6 from here times 80 in the equity portion. 28.48 equity. And then for row B, you do the same thing. So you take your 16.7% times your fixed income amount of 60, 10.02 fixed income, 6.68 equity. And then it's the same for row C. So you take your 47.7 from here times the fixed income from the original shits, 80. And then for the equity, you do the same thing, 47.7 times 20 equity. 38.16 fixed income, 9.54 equity. So now we can just plug it into the column. Fixed income, equity. Now, for your new portfolio fees, you do the same thing you did for the original portfolio fee. So remember, that's your percent times your MER. The MER is given. You're just using your new percents. So your new 35.6% times MER of 210. 0.748. Portfolio fee. Now for B, you take your B percentage, 16.7%, times your B MER, 1.90, equals 0.317. Portfolio fee. Same for C, your 47.7% times your C MER of 1.50. 0.716 portfolio fee. Now I'm just going to copy and paste this in the column. And then you can total these if you want. Fixed income. Equity. And if you notice, you can minus one of these from 100 and get the other answer. That's how you know it's right. Portfolio fee. This is the new fee. This is the old fee. You can see the fees increased. This is for this column. This is for this column. Now, as you can see from the totals, the fixed income portion of the portfolio used to be 62.4 and the equity was 37.6. But the equity has since increased to 44.7 because the fund performed well, okay? But now it's not balanced to the way that the client wanted. So we need to fix that. So that's why you do the rebalancing trades. We're just going to do it down here. So for Fund A, you need to take your 24% original times the new total balance equals 21,600, okay? So then this 21,600 is what you should have, by the way. If you go to back to class, you go what I should have minus what I do have, and then negative is to sell, positive is to buy. So you take what you should have minus what you do have, this balance. So when you minus those, it gives you negative 10,400. And since it's negative, we sell. So sell 10,400 for A. And for B, your 16%, again, times your 90,000 total, equals 14,400 is what you should have. Then, what you should have minus what you do have, 15,000. Negative 600, so it's a sell. Sell 600. For C, take your 60%, times your 90,000 again, 54,000. 54,000 what you should have minus what you do have, which is 43,000. Positive 11,000, so this is a buy. Buy 11,000. Now we'll do the capital gain. This column. So for the capital gain, the new balance was 32,000. The original balance was 12,000 for Fund A. So you just minus those two to see the difference. And that'll give you $20,000. Then you take your $20,000 and times it by the amount you sold for Fund A divided by the new balance. So again, new minus old, 20,000. Portion sold was 10,400. And then the amount from the new balance, 32,000. $6,500. Capital gain. And then for Fund B, it's the same thing. So 15,000 minus 8,000 gives you 7,000 times what you sold, 600, for B's new balance, equal 280. 280 is your capital gain. And then there's no capital gain for the Fund C because to rebalance it, we needed to buy. And then for the taxable capital gain, it's just this divided by 2. $3,390 is going to be their total taxable capital gain. So if there's an example, like say how it was on the worksheet where they give you the marginal tax rate, to find the amount of tax the client needs to pay, you just times this total by their marginal tax rate, equals. This client would pay this in taxes.